Monday, 20th February 2023. In this evening's show, we are unbelievably discussing a Blackpool win as a resolute Tangerine wall ground out 3 vital points against the Potters on Saturday to record our first league win in 14 games. 14. We'll also be looking ahead to Blackburn Rovers away tomorrow evening as Poole make the short hop over to Ewood Park in yet another Lancashire derby. I'm John Aspel. This is the Procedures Podcast Match Reaction Show. Blackpool 1, Stoke City 0. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Seasides Podcast on a Monday night. Raggy on mute. Or can I unmute him? So have I done that? Just mute yourself. There you go.
Am I here?
Yes.
I'm in the room.
Can you hear us?
I'm up with latest technology now. We're laughing.
Oh, listen to his dulcet tones.
I'm going to start singing Piano Man in a minute.
As long as it's not Sweet Caroline. Kill you then.
Raggy's on a new mic, provided kindly by the All the Seasiders Podcast patrons. Nice fresh mic there. That's where your cash goes. Yeah, guys, great to have you. Great to have you back. And Raggy, it was yet another of your Churchillian speeches in the patrons group that I think got us over the line there. The power of positive thinking, eh?
Yeah, I was out all night threatening the players as well.
That helps as well.
But, of course, positivity. I'm still holding out hopes for the playoffs. Don't worry about that. The perfect 14 on the way.
Is that how many games we've got left? 14. Yeah. First win in 14, Nick. It was emotional, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely drained at the end of it. Yeah, fantastic. I think we said, didn't we? You know, however we need to win, whether it bounces off someone's backside, it's backs to the wall stuff. It doesn't matter. It's just about the 3 points, and you know that's pretty much how it turned out to be. And hopefully, a bit of a turning point. You know, they can take confidence from it. We know how to win again, and we can push on starting tomorrow night.
Yep. Welcome to everyone in the comments. By the way, I've got to say hello. Welcome you if you're listening on the audio pod. Michael S has just said, "What is the top you are weeding, John?" I've not been doing some gardening. I have been doing some youth football coaching, just inspiring the next generation this evening. It's a Polton FC top. There you go, with the gaffer's name on. So I don't know. A very busy day. To do good old Ronnie Biggs is on tonight, according to Bob Harris. I think Pete, you did like the moniker of Brad Pitt.
Well, I think it's more accurate, personally, obviously, from the feedback I get from the ladies. But yeah, Ronnie Biggs is not good. Can I just tell you? I prefer Jeremy Clarkson. That's how fucking bad it is.
Oh yeah,
Ronnie Biggs is a belter.
Yeah. Ronnie Biggs, fuck it.
Definitely Ronnie Biggs.
Where have you stashed the loot? Come on, tell us where it is.
Well, I can't remember. That's why I'm so poor. It's with the Ormerod money.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, on water tonight. I'm having a dry week this week after the week just gone. Right, let's go on with the show. Quick catch up, gentlemen, before we go on to the Stoke game. Obviously, we only pod when we're winning. That's what I've been accused of as I was walking down Bloomfield Road. So we've had Rotherham 0-0 at home, Swansea 2-1 away. Defeat. Raggy, I watched that in the Armfield. It was one of those games that we've just got back into. Fought our way back in. Patino sent off. Silly second yellow. I actually went for a piss. Loving life. When I came out of the bogs from the Armfield, I saw 2-1 and I saw Connolly booting the ball into his own net. So, very short-lived moment of pleasure at the Armfield for me, but not your fault.
No. Well, it was just a shame, that game, wasn't it? It was a shame. And we played mostly better with 10 men. like we had done against Huddersfield.
And
at the time, I just put it down to tactics had to go out the window, and they had to just play football the way that they wanted to play football, and it was better than the hoofing and long ball that they'd been doing with 11 men.
Who'd have thought that, though? Right?
I know, but it certainly shows fight, doesn't it? There's one thing you can't accuse them of, them players. They're all trying. And they have done under both managers this season.
I can hear notifications going off.
Yeah, I'm going to let me just get rid.
Come on, get in the modern world, Ronnie.
I'm
desperately trying to think of some other great train robbers to make a gag.
In the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
Sorry, they've just transferred some funds across.
Great train robber names. Buster Edwards, that was one. Is it Buster Edwards?
Yeah. Buster Blood Vessel, that's Raggy.
Hey! Lip up, fatty. Lip up, fatty.
Raggy, I could actually see you from that Stoke vlog that's doing the ground. I don't know if you've seen it, it's doing the rounds. That's what a young Stoke vlogger's done the video, and I can just see you stood right at the front, aren't you? Towards the east.
I've watched
waving at them and gesturing. I could make you out like a Belisha beacon.
I had a great day. He had, he's a good vlogger, that lad. He's done a good video there, and he concentrated a lot on our fans. But listen, I had a great day. I loved it in that corner of that ground, and that's exactly where the away fans should be, in that half of the ground. And all of the last 2 years telling us they're not allowed to put away fans at that end of the ground shows it up for what it is. Get them down that end, even when they're only selling half of it. Get them down that end.
Well, they could do that anyway. Give them access to the concourse and the beer, couldn't they? And just let them walk in front of the media room.
They could just have it down there. Just use that end like they use that end anyway. And they get put in the place down that end of the ground, don't they? You see.
Yeah.
And it does. It does ramp the atmosphere up. And I'm amazed at how many grown men in the other stands will spend the whole time gesturing, pointing outside as if you're going to leave the ground and have them a scrap on the car park. Which is very strange. Some weird people in Stoke, that's for certain.
They were singing Blackpool's a shithole, I want to go home quite regularly. And that always seems to come from toilet towns.
Well, they all are, aren't they? But that's just the theme that's got going, that, hasn't it? They all start singing it. Well, but good, because we should sort it out, and the council should be showing them songs and say, sort it out.
Yeah.
I don't agree it's a shithole, but we've got a rough area. We've got some rough places, obviously.
Yeah, everywhere does.
Oh.
The Rotherham game, 0-0. It's so poor that I kind of wiped it from my memory. I can't really remember anything. I just remember the team line up and thinking this is going to be a long 90 minutes.
Yes, and so it proved. I think it was another one similar to Huddersfield where it felt like a bit of an opportunity missed. Because as we've seen, the Swansea game, first half was like an exercise in defence against attack. And had they been a bit more clinical, we could have been, further behind at half time. But then second half, even with 10 men, when we actually moved forward 15 or 20 yards and started to play a bit of football, we looked decent in spells, and we have got the players to do it. And the goal we scored at Swansea was fantastic. Same as, on Saturday, it was a very good move as well. So hopefully he'll have, taken something from that. It doesn't just have to be defend. We have got players who can play. I think Fiorini on Saturday, for the kind of cameo appearance that he made a difference. And it does go to show, if you've got one of those players in midfield who can play a forward pass, it does make a difference, just to set the tempo of the game.
Okay, let's talk about the team lineup that we saw on Saturday. Raggy, we had a quick discussion, didn't we, about just play. None of us are football experts, but just play your best players in the positions they should be playing in. And it was almost that with this lineup, which was Maxwell, Lyons, Connolly, Nelson, Husband, Dougal, Fiorini, Carey, Poveda, Rodgers and Yates. Bit of a shock to see Josh Bowler on the bench, and also Lewis Fiorini brought back from the dead. and chucked in right at the deep end.
Yeah, well, I was surprised with Fiorini, and listen, I'm glad he's back because he had a great first half. Obviously needs a few games, but I wasn't surprised with Josh Bowler. I don't think he's his greatest fan, to be honest. But I mean, he's going to play a significant part in keeping us up, no doubt about it. But he's going to be used as an impact sub more than he's ever going to start games. I think that's obvious. But the team he put out, I wasn't disappointed when I saw it. That's for sure. So, and as it proved, it worked. Certainly worked in the first 10, 15 minutes anyway.
Pete, for me, it was good to see Morgan Rogers starting because he's been a real threat on the very little game time he has had, and I think he was instrumental in the first goal. But it was great to see him on the team sheet.
He's looks really good, doesn't he? To see him playing, not being on the subs bench, I think that made a massive difference. Having him and Poveda on, he's skillful as well as just he's a big lad, isn't he? He's over 6 foot. Is he 6'2" or something?
He's a lot taller than Jerry Yates, Raggy, isn't he?
Well, Jerry Yates is a lot taller than Jerry Yates because he ain't 5'9". I was looking at him next to some of them defenders on Saturday. There's no chance. We need to find that out, but it'll do as a mystery for now.
He tracks back as well, though, doesn't he, Rogers? He's quite a tough player generally, but his skills are, I think he's just going to get better and better. He's got these 14 games now, and it's going to be really important that he stays. Well, all of these stay fixed. We've got sod all left, haven't we? Much after that, but it's really important that he stays fit and cements his place, I think.
Nick, any thoughts on the team lineup before we go on the game?
Well, I came over to see you in the Phoenix Club, didn't I? And said overall, I was pretty happy with it. Good to see Poveda in. Obviously, bit of a surprise, Fiorini. I know he'd played a bit for the development squad during the week, hadn't he? But it was great that he was in because, as we saw, he made a real difference. No Thornley, so obviously he had a bit of a knock, hamstring was it maybe? But I think he's okay, thankfully. So overall, you could have had Bowler in there, but I'm not surprised he didn't go all out with it. And Carey, he's not a bad player at all. So overall, I was pretty happy with it.
Pete, how do you think we started the game? We start games reasonably. Oh, what does Buster want?
Oh, just bugger off. He's a Blackpool fan as well. I think he must be pissed because he keeps bloody texting me about, come tomorrow, bloody get there, bloody hell, what are you doing? Oh, God. Anyway, I've sent him two messages saying, shut up.
We started the game quite well, didn't we, as we seem to do. Are you on your phone or?
No, it's on my bloody laptop.
Right, is that messages?
Yeah, it's linked
right, kill the app. Kill Apple messaging, the app.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah, sorry.
Nick, yeah. A glaring miss from Dwight Gayle. Quite bad defending. And
it was, yeah.
He's only scored 1 in 54 for Stoke or something.
You can see why with that sort of finishing. Although I think the linesman did flag.
I've got to say, he was offside.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have counted. But yeah, it was kind of a ball out wide, header across, and you should at least hit the target from there. But thankfully didn't, and like I say, it would have been offside anyway. I thought first 10 or 15 minutes we had a really good tempo. As to be fair, as we did quite often earlier in the season, we often started games and had a good 10 or 15 minutes, and then the opposition came back into it. But yeah, first 10 minutes or so, I thought we knocked it about well. Good tempo. Thought Fiorini looked sharp. Rogers looked really good, as we'll talk about in a minute for his part in the goal. So yeah, it was a good start.
Right, Pete. Take 2. No more beeping.
Beep. Got Beaker on the fucking line now.
Right, Raggy was down the north end, so you were watching it on TV, so you've got a better angle of the goal and what you could see in the build-up. But as I alluded
I'll
to,
tell you what, when he hit it, when he got the ball through and he did his little run and then whacked it. Initially, I thought it looped and gone over the bar, and I was like, it was like a delayed reaction for me because I thought, bloody hell, everyone's going mad. What's happened? And then when I saw it back, it had obviously looped into the net. I think he needed to be there for that one. It didn't show up very well on the telly. It just looked like it was going to go crashing over, and I thought, oh. And then everyone went mad. I thought, what's happened? Is it sort of done a boomerang or something and come back? They've blown it back in the goal. But yeah, no, it was just lucky, really. It was a good move, but it's a bit of luck we need. You know, at the moment we've been short of anything, haven't we?
I think obviously the fact it's taken a deflection and gone in was lucky, but Raggy, I think that it was the positivity that Rodgers has showed and his desire to run with the ball and attack that was the difference between what we are missing, what we have been missing over the last few games.
No, of course, and Fiorini, who played the ball to Poveda for the goal as well.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Quick ball to him. And Poveda, well, that's what he does when he's on the pitch, isn't it? So that's why I wanted him on the pitch. I think we did start well. We look like and it's massively important to our game plan, I think, to go 1-0 up. The games when we've set up and we go 1-0 down, we're knackered, aren't we? Oh, that's the change. And also, it does make a difference going 1-0 up when you give that many away fans. Because if they go 1-0 up, it turns into a bleeding home game for him for 10 minutes, doesn't it?
That's a good point.
And that always what does my head in, winds me up. But, I know they've got to make a few quid. And just while we're on it, please don't refer to it as the North End. I can't stand it. The North Stand. The North End. We can't have that as part of our ground, can we?
Who says that? Who said that?
You said it. You said, Raggy, you were at the North End of the ground. Yeah.
Did I? Sorry. I'll hold my hands up.
I always put them straight in the ticket office when I go and get tickets for people, and they say, where do you want it? In the North End of the ground? Nope.
Yeah, Pete, you are right. It's not called the Cop anymore, is it? Maybe it needs a rebranding exercise.
Maybe we need to get back to that.
Yeah, it should be called the Cop still.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
And just going back to the goal, though, John, if you Rodgers showed really, really good strength. There was like 3 players around him. Kind of one of them bounced off him, and if you look back at the start when he first got the ball, he did actually get pulled back a bit, which was right in front of the ref. So fair play to him for keeping going, because it'd have been easy just to stop and get the easy free kick. And fair play to the ref for playing on as well. He showed really good strength, and I know it kind of bounced off the Stoke player back to Fiorini, but really good ball from him. And I think the shot looked like it was on target anyway. Obviously, it's taken a flick off. Was it Thompson? He used to play for us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was a handful of him, wasn't he?
He had a good game, wasn't
he? Yeah. So yeah, like we said, that bit of luck we need.
Okay, next talking point. Put Maxi's Smallbone save. This guy's name is hilarious, and B, he looks a bit like Mitch. It's a shame Mitch hasn't come on today, because I was going to make a hilarious gag, saying he's got a lookalike. But Raggy, obviously, that was in front of you at the north part of the stadium.
The Cop.
Otherwise known as the Cop. Yeah, let's call it the Cop. Keep it simple. Yeah. At the Cop, vital save from Chris Maxwell. I think if they'd have scored, that would have put everyone on an instant downer, and it would have sucked out of a lot of the life out of the play. So
yeah,
it was a really pivotal moment of the game.
Yeah, and he's. I've always been one that's not bothered about Maxwell or Grimshaw in there, and I know people have wanted Grimshaw, but he's definitely playing himself back into form. Maxwell, for certain. He definitely came off his line a bit more on Saturday as well. He's never going to be the most commanding in the air, but at least he was having a go. And it'll make Daz happy anyway. BFC ×3 on AVFTT. Give Maxwell a big up. There you go, just for you, Daz. Whinging on AVFTT that people are a bit.
Daz is a big Maxi fan, is he?
I think so, but he does go off on AVFTT. No, I mean, he was talking about Holmans and whole women and all sorts before on there. So God knows what he was. I think he's had a few today, or he's hugging trees again. Or something.
I'm with you though, Raggy. I don't mind either one of them, and I think Maxi's deserved the shirt the last few games.
100%. 2 clean sheets, 2 home games,
and he's been solid, as have the rest of the team in front of him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sorry, I know we were supposed to talk about that specific incident, but you've got to remember, I'm having to go at the Stoke fans during this point as well, so I don't see every little detail. but I do specifically remember Mr. Smallbone getting a bit of stick about his name every time he came near that corner.
you just change your name, wouldn't you? I would. The fact he's follically challenged makes him makes him stand out anyway, and he's got the double whammy of his name.
And I can get away with that because I'm follically challenged and I've got a weird surname as well. So no discrimination from me.
Singing something about Harry Potter to him.
Yeah. Harry Potter is coming for you because he looks like Voldemort, doesn't he? So.
I was asking the people sat around me, Raggy. I was like, "What's it mean? I don't get it."
Yeah,
well, now I know. Every day is a school day on here. Yeah. So Nick, we've got to half time. Do you think we were value for the lead?
Yeah, I think that chance. If he's put it 1 yard either side, then it's probably hitting the back of the net, isn't it? But thankfully he didn't. They also had a chance just before half time, the shot that kind of whizzed past Maxwell's left-hand post.
Yeah. That was very close.
Yeah. So Rodar look a bit at times, and I thought after that kind of first 15 minutes or so, they did start to come back into it a bit more. Obviously, Fiorini as the half went on tired a bit, which you can completely understand when he's been out for just shy of 6 months. But yeah, overall, we've taken our chance and hung on in there to stay 1-0 up at half time.
So Pete, half time's come around and the subs board's gone up. Lewis Fiorini, a great first half, buzzing around the place, adding that bit of quality to the midfield, and was unfortunately replaced by hardly a like-for-like replacement in CJ Hamilton. What was he thinking there?
Well, if you listen to his post-match interview, he clearly says that he was only ever going to give Fiorini the first 45 minutes. That was the plan. Get him on the pitch. I mean, he's a quality player, and give him that chance to do what he did, and he made a difference. Yeah, so I think it was the right thing because they don't want to get him injured again, do they? So, he's got an important game tomorrow. He might play 65 minutes tomorrow, mightn't he? So
I think the fact CJ's coming on illustrates how threadbare our squad is at the moment.
I didn't get that. I mean, I think, I think I probably would have bought Josh on personally, but moved it around a little bit. I can't remember who else was on the bench because we
Lavery.
Yeah,
Grimshaw, Gabriel, Thompson.
Was there any other midfielders on there?
Lavery and Bowler. That's pretty much it.
Well, Garbutt played come on in midfield in the end.
He did, yeah.
They look like that.
No, I think Bowler would have been the better option, but there you go. He didn't,
as Mitch has just corrected you, he's put CJ as an international footballer.
He gets a bad press, CJ. CJ Hamilton, I'm sure he would say himself, he's not the best footballer in the world, but he can run. And you saw it against Preston at home when they played him in that. Just run. Just kick the ball and run. And he's brilliant at it. But he like him, Mick McCarthy, because he's fast, so he scares the defence. They don't know how bad he is at controlling the ball, do they? He's just scared when they see him running. And he will run back, won't he? He will get back.
And he's Irish like I'm Irish and you're Irish.
guys, and you're all forgetting. How can you forget the secret weapon? Secret CJ weapon.
I didn't see it though. I think he'd been told not to.
Did he? I don't think he had one.
The old shuttlecock. I think it stayed in the.
Stayed in the racket cover.
I think they probably Stoke might have wanted to sign him as a replacement for Rory Delap if they'd have seen it. So we probably had to keep him undercover with that one. The new Delap. I didn't see him throw the ball in. I don't think he did he?
No, I don't think he did.
Well,
what he did do was miss a glorious chance, Nick.
Yes.
Bundled in by, was it Jerry? Jerry Yates?
That's the thing with
he was
CJ,
passing
isn't
back.
it? You never know. It like the goal he scores against Forest, it's unbelievable, isn't it? What a finish! But then he can do what he did on Saturday, and that's the thing with him, isn't it? It's that kind of inconsistency. I suppose we've said many times before, if he was consistent, he might not be playing for us. It'll be 1 in 3 where he maybe affects the game. But what he does do is give us chance to get the ball out with his pace. I thought in that second half, there was a criticism. It was we were a bit wasteful when we did break. When you only got, I don't know what the possession was in the second half, but so we didn't have a great deal of the ball. And if you're going to play like that and effectively, I suppose, defend for 2/3 of the game, you've got to try and be good when you've got the ball on the break or you're in possession. And we did have a couple. I think there was a chance as well where we broke out towards the end and Kenny to play it through to Yates, but it was a bit of a poor ball. So yeah, we have to be a bit more clinical when we're only going to have, I don't know, 30-odd% possession.
I think it was 70% Stoke. The whole game, 70% possession. I think.
Yeah. And CJ
sorry,
probably, if people are back and fit, he probably, doesn't make the starting lineup. He makes the bench.
According to Bob Harris, CJ is no more a footballer than Peter's a train robber.
Well, he is a train robber. He is a train robber
program as well, Bob. I wish they brought a whistle test back. It's one of my favourites.
Whispering Bob, what's his name? That guy. Just going back to the chance, Pete. Yeah. I think CJ was. I think he was in two minds of whether to shoot or pass it to Jerry.
No, I think it was just a bloody. Be fair, let's go back a bit because his build-up and the way he got to that position was fantastic. It was really skillful. He really took the ball and sort of jinxed it. And then when you watched it again, it was like he thought the goal was in a different position. The way he kicked it was really weird. It was like, oh, the goal's over there. Oh shit, no, it's not. It's over there. And it was just really, really odd. The shot was really odd. I don't think he was going to try and pass it. I think he wanted to score, but I just think it was.
I don't know. I think he was caught in two minds, and I think he was shit. But I think we're being a bit unfair to him, as Nick said. You do get these occasional flashes of brilliance from him, and I think we're just going to have to accept.
I think you take the rough with the smooth, don't you? Yeah. You know whether he's starting or he's coming off the bench. He will get at 1 point or 2 points in the game, he will get in a very good position, and it's probably 50-50 whether it flies in the back of the net or flies over or wide,
bobbles wide.
Yeah.
Look who's turned up in the comments.
Hey.
Keir Starmer's here.
Yes. Keir's here. Look at that. Look at his avatar that he's used. A black and white photo with a suit on, arms folded.
That's his new law firm, isn't it? Avitt, Shuttlecock, and the big fella. That's it. There it is.
the poster boy for Avitt, Shuttlecock, and the big fella. The poster boy has arrived, and he said CJ should never start with the options we have. Well, he didn't start though, did he?
No, I'm going to say.
What's he on about?
There you go. He's been on the pop, hasn't he?
Stating the obvious here.
Thanks for that, Tim. Been missing you a lot.
Lawyer speak, innit? That's it. State the obvious.
Yeah.
Send him £300 for that piece.
It's supposed to fool us that into saying something we shouldn't. That slaughtered him anyway. Is he brave enough to come back with another one?
That's Keir gone. Let's move on to the next piece, which I've penned. Superman Connolly, which Pete,
he had his best
you can
game.
see it from the you'll be able to see that better from the TV because it was down the south end.
He just had his best game for us of all the games he's played, and he's pretty consistent, isn't he? But he was just outstanding. Man of the match for me. Are we going on something particular here?
Do you not remember when he was falling over? You know when you're running forward and you're losing your balance gradually.
Yeah.
And rather than just fall over in a heap, he kind of threw himself forward like Superman and got a block in that corner.
Yeah. Well, that's just his commitment and effort, isn't it? And I'll put a picture up actually that the BBC put up after the game with him and Maxwell, him jumping onto Maxwell, and the emotion in his face because they just won was unbelievable.
He's really coming to his own last couple of years.
He could be Superman every week. You know, I think he's a bit like one of these players that people forget a bit that he's there, but you know, he's not. I think now I've seen him play though. I think central defence is his position, because before I thought he was just a utility player, but now he's in that. Now I've seen him play there. I think
I was just going to say he was captain, wasn't he? Yeah,
he was captain as well. Thoroughly deserved. Yeah, absolutely.
He's a good man. He's definitely leads by example. So
yeah, he does.
They need him.
And you know, I think it helped Nelson as well. I think him and Nelson had a good. You know, I've been critical of him a bit, but I thought he was outstanding as well.
He was. Old Avitt was brilliant, though, wasn't he? I must admit. I do. He'll become my favourite player by the fact that we've nicknamed him something. He's no, he was good. Connolly was great. He was great as well, Nelson.
Yeah, he was.
They were all great. They fighting like mad.
The defence was incredible.
He's actually playing in his correct position now, Connolly. I think we've been saying this, haven't we, for quite a while.
Someone's just said in the comments, and I was just going to mention it, and we've covered this previously on the pod, that he played pretty much a full season, I think, for Fleetwood at centre half. Yeah. So he's not, you know, we think he's filling in there a bit, but actually it's probably his most natural position.
Didn't he get player of the season or something in there as well?
I think he did, and he might have been captain as well there.
Yeah.
Let's just quickly bob back to this comment from Kev G, because I think this is something I was really annoyed with. Kev said, "What are your thoughts on the ref giving out 3 yellow cards to us first half and was being influenced by the Stoke players surrounding him?" Absolutely, Kev.
Yeah, we're not smart enough for it yet, Blackburn. We don't do it. I know it's a ridiculous part of the game, but they're all at it with us, and we're not doing it to them. And they've got to find some way of counteracting that. I don't know how they do it. Whether we surround the ref every time we make a foul before they get there, I don't know. Do something bizarre. I don't know. Just have someone start doing cartwheels or something every time there's a foul. Just take the eye off the ball for a minute. But they do it, and it got the ridiculous bookings, but they're getting booked for fouls. Like, it's a foul. It's just a foul. They've just mistimed the challenge. A foul. Everything needs to be.
That Dougal one was a joke. He just challenged the ball, and
Do you think we've got a bit of a reputation now, though? The referees are going into the game thinking.
No, I think they've been influenced. I think exactly what he's saying there. They're influencing. They're clever. The players are clever in these teams now. It's part of the tactics. Get people sent off. That's it.
The Swansea players were even worse. They were horrific.
That's what I mean. They're all doing it, though. We'll say it week after week. They're all doing it. We don't do it. Not that I like to see it or we like to see it, but we're being victims of it. So either start doing it ourselves or find a way to counteract it. Like I say, I don't know. If someone has to do roly-polies and cartwheels around the referee's feet every time we do a foul, just for him to wonder what's going on and take his eye off the yellow card, I don't know. But something bizarre.
Everybody in the comments, what do you think we should do to stop this from happening? Let us know. It was joking aside. It was extremely worrying to see Dougal particularly booked, given our propensity to get red cards this season, and Poveda as well. 3 minutes later, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go.
That's what I thought was coming in the end. Another red card. Yeah. Well, don't do it again.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought Poveda might have gone and they put Bowler on because of that red. Because, you know, if anyone was going to probably do something, to be fair, he didn't at all. But, you know, I think he could be easily wound up. But
but I think they managed the game well, didn't they? They managed to play as well, and the substitutions. As bizarre as I thought what they were at the time when he brought 3 on. But
right, we're going to move on to that now then.
good.
Hat-trick of full-back changes. I sit not far away from the dugout in the west, and I was taking a picture and sending it through to the patrons WhatsApp group, and I was saying, this isn't a wind-up, but we're warming. 3 full-backs are about to come on as substitutes. But for me, that second half, it was wave after wave after wave of Stoke attacks. The ball was being played. It was just coming back again. Maxwell was just clearing it. It kept coming back. It was coming back. We were overrun in midfield. And there was an air of inevitability for them scoring for me and Nick. I thought McCarthy was absolutely spot on here in what he did. And I was saying to Eddie at the time, he was saying, what's he doing bringing on 3 fullbacks? And I said, he'll sort it out. I said, this guy's managed over 1,000 games. He's an international manager. I think we need to trust him in situations like this. And I think he's shuffled the pack and it's gone to 5-3-2, and it's really made a difference for me. It just stopped them in their tracks.
Genius.
It did, yeah. And similar to you at first, we were like trying to see who it was coming on, and me and Jim looked at each other and we were like, right, what's he going to do here? And then once you worked it out, it really started to make sense, because like you say, I'm looking at Jim and we both said the same thing. It's coming. And it probably would have done if he hadn't have made those changes. You know, there was 1 or 2 who were looking knackered. And so we did need to do something about it. And to be fair, they all came on and played the part. You know, Garbutt playing a bit further up.
Did
Gabriel,
well, Garbutt.
Yeah. Thompson as well. You know, they were all up for it. I think at one point, Thompson was celebrating putting it out for a throw-in, or getting the throw-in rather. You know, and the whole crowd are up. So you've got to give him credit. You know, we've been critical about, I think, certainly lineups at times when he's taken over, since he's taken over. But like you say, that is very good in-game management there, to recognise what's happening and switch it up. And you knew that it was still going to be backs to the wall stuff, but it was the right thing to do, because it did change things up, and it had to make them play a bit differently as well, and stop some of those wave after wave of attacks.
And Gabriel, by the way, he's a great player, Gabriel. I mean, he's been out injured of his own doing, I'm sure, but he is. I mean, he's a good lad. He's athletic. He's direct. He worries
him. He's an athlete, Rocky. I was just about to say that. He's an athlete.
He does, and when he's moving forward, he does cause big problems for him. He was always the player that I thought was best behind Bowler, you see, on that side, because he would overlap and it would take the man away from Bowler, and he'd be inside. But
did you see the Stoke physio come on the field and leave that stool on the pitch, though? He'd come on.
What a stool? What, a seat or a stool sample?
A stool, yeah, for Garbs to fall over.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a tactic that we need to. One of these tactics, Raggy, that we need to.
No stools in the ground.
Do a stool on the ground in front of the ref to.
I'll have a think. Yeah.
Stop us getting yellows.
Yeah, I'll have a think about some of the best things we can do to the refs. I'm sure we can get someone to do something.
Go and have a word with him the night before. Thanks for balaclavas.
I just think, Pete, that I thought it was a masterstroke from McCarthy what he did.
Yeah,
and I was just comfortable with what he'd done, and what I saw was just them stopping. They couldn't play in midfield. They couldn't play through us anymore. We were solid at the back, and all right, we had this 3 minutes after the change. This did happen. Another worldie from Maxwell in front of the South. That's again, it's as good as a goal, that save.
Yeah.
Is it a worldie or a worldly?
World. Oh shit! Hang on a minute.
Typo.
It was an unbelievable save, the ones, because it just looked like it was past him to me.
It's another one of those Dave Seaman ones, Nick.
It was, yeah. It was absolutely fantastic save. I think it took a little bit of a slight touch off the defender as well, which kind of knocked it up a bit and probably put a little bit more pace on it. And fantastic save. Absolutely fantastic.
Certainly been on in his corn. So there was another worrying moment from our old friend Smallbone again. And I've put quotes, Raggy, celebrations from the Stoke fans. Free kicks, just hit
Oh,
the side
brilliant.
netting.
Brilliant.
The fans down your end, the East End, in front of the Cop, I was perfectly in line with them. They were still celebrating for like a minute after it hit the side netting.
It was brilliant. There was half a dozen in their end at different seats that were at it all game. Just whatever they were doing, pointing outside, frothing at the mouth, everything, getting wound up. And one of them, a right big fella in a black cap on, he was jumping over. He must have cleared 4 seats to come running up to the fence, and he's still giving it all that. It's gone.
So
Great, it's ace. And there was a 3 lads one of them had a Stoke shirt on. I remember 3 lads jumping around. They were jumping around for a good 20 seconds after everyone was giving it back to them. So it's great. But I love it. That's why they should be in that end. It's ace.
Absolutely.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen fans celebrate as long for a ball not going in the net. Normally there's like a second, isn't there, of it's hit the side netting. Like you say, they were jumping about. I was watching one guy in particular, and it was longer than 20 seconds. He had a really distinctive coloured top on. He was going absolutely mental, and then like one of his mates just sort of tapped him, was like, "No, it's not gone in."
It's because I think part of it's because of the amount of grief they get in all games. So when they score, they go wild thinking they're giving it back.
Because you've wound them up. That much.
Listen, it's comical in that corner. It's brilliant. You got to get in there and have a listen to it.
On the TV though, it wasn't quite. You didn't think it was a goal.
Mm.
So I think it depends, obviously, in those situations where you are on the ground. Obviously, on that side, it looked more like it was going in, but when you looked at it more directly, it didn't.
Yeah, they've got pillars in that stand as well. Some of them have obscured views and everything. They won't have been able to see properly.
Pillars.
Bless them.
Yeah, plenty of pillars in there.
The atmosphere, wasn't it, though? And that just added to it, I think, then,
Brilliant.
The great escape going and everything. There was even a lot of clapping in the West. That's how good the atmosphere was. There was people joining in. 1 or 2 stood up. Never seen anything like it.
Twirling tartan blankets going around like that.
LA.
Leather driving gloves.
That was the noise. The noise was deafening out there. You've seen that video that young lad did on that story. That is just brilliant. That
you could hear it on the telly, Raggy. It was absolutely incredible. You can tell when it's when it was good and it was.
It's all around the ground though. I love looking over to the south, to the right hand side, where the family sort of stand area, and you see them all up and all waving scarves. Everyone's up, and it's great. That it's a proper song that's got that just. You can bounce, can't you, to that? Great tune.
Could be the theme tune that keeps us up.
Yeah, and that Great Escape one wants to carry on. That's just keep doing it. Absolutely. By the final game, we'll all be whistling it. There'll be 15,000 there whistling it on the last home game.
At Carrow Road.
Oh, last home game. We'll already be up by Carrow Road. We'll be going there on a boat. We're having a boat trip down there.
Norfolk Broads.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going.
I know. I have heard about these boats. I've seen some of these boats that people are getting. I can't believe it. I've got to get one.
Definitely a good weekend away there as well. It's worth it. Norwich is a good city.
So many partridge gag potentials there, Nick, isn't there?
There is. I'll be taking my big plate.
The cow off the boat. Get the cow off the boat.
Yeah.
6 long minutes, gentlemen. Did anyone feel nervous in this time? Obviously, they've had that free kick, which...
Now he's back again. I thought I'd turn the thing off.
The free kick I couldn't watch, and thankfully that just sailed over. But as the board went up, I predicted 6 minutes.
Yeah, well,
I felt reasonably comfortable given the changes Mick had made.
Well, I didn't, but not because just because I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be a nightmare if they score. I went shortly after that free kick. I've got to get back over to the club to sort out because we have to make sure that balcony's under control after the game. So I left, but I was just walking over there, just thinking, don't hear a noise. Just don't hear a noise anywhere. But by the time I'd got there, it was up. It was coming up on the screen full time. So happy days. But yes, I was nervous, only because we've not won for so long. I think. Don't take it away now.
I was the same. Like you say, John, we were doing well at defending, but, there's been a few occasions where, you think we just got back into it, or we're going to hang on and they get a 93rd, 94th minute winner or whatever. So I was nervous just because it's, like you say, it's so long since we've won in the league.
And there was real emotional scenes, God. Nick, as that full-time whistle went. I don't think I've ever seen. I think everyone around me was pretty much hugging. All friends and family. Everyone was hugging each other. I've not seen a reaction like that in the stadium for a long time.
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? It's just relief as much as anything, as well, isn't it? That we've won and managed to get it over the line, and also that hopefully, like I said at the start, hopefully, it's a bit of a turning point now that they can take confidence from it. I think Mick McCarthy was emotional as well. He said he had a lump in his throat at the end. He was kicking every ball. So
it looked fantastic. Like he kicked and headed every defensive ball.
Yeah.
And his voice had gone, and he was really emotional, and you could see, that was just so different to what we've been used to from any manager that we've had since Saddle took over. I mean, Grayson, bloody hell. Quitchley, his emotion was fake anyway. Oh, he got sacked, didn't he?
He did.
And then gutted for him. And then, obviously, Appleton had no personality whatsoever, did he? So to listen to that, I recommend anyone to listen to that post-match or watch that post-match interview, because it is very emotional.
Oh, yeah, he's heavily invested now, isn't he? But he won't have seen... I mean, obviously, he's seen all sorts of stadiums in his time. He won't have seen things like that, where it was fans going so mad, not won for 15 games, bottom of the league. Someone's just put it on there. Incredible support for a team bottom of the league. It is. You don't see that we all go to away grounds, don't you? You never see grounds like that.
No.
You don't often walk into a stadium like that. It might be like that for 5 minutes, but it won't be like that for 5 minutes. It won't be that loud anyway.
No.
Yeah, it's
a secret weapon, but people believe in. You see, a lot of people turned up believing this on Saturday that we're going to win.
But we lost that for months, didn't we? Sadly.
Yeah. But it does.
It's purely and simply because they took the wrong bloke on.
It does, but it starts this thing, doesn't it? On every platform, everywhere, the negativity starts. Oh, we're going. How many times I've read over recent weeks, WhatsApp, ABFTT, oh, we're down now. That's it, we're down. And nonsense. My view was before Saturday, 20 points out of 45. That's based on, by the way, that since 1995, the 47 points, on average, has kept teams up.
Yeah, but we're Blackpool, it'll be 56 or something.
Well, one season out of the whole lot, it was 54. But it's a case of, let's say it does go off the average 47. Give ourselves an extra point to make sure, 48. That was it. That was the 20 points from 45 that we need. Now we need 17 from 42. That's why it don't bother me if Cardiff score it last minute or Huddersfield nick a result. Doesn't matter. 17 points. Get them. Don't matter how it comes. 5 wins, 2 draws. It means we can lose 7 games. No one's head has to fall off if we lose. It's like, right, well, we can afford to lose 7 as long as we do our part in the other 7. So that's how I look at it. And people need to get back into that mindset, because that definitely, as the Stoke fan said on his video, that fan base, it definitely helps when it's at home, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And certainly away, because it'll be rocking at Blackburn tomorrow night.
It'll be good tomorrow, won't it?
Yeah.
It's like I was umming and ahhing whether I was going to go based on the result, and I'm definitely going now.
Oh,
there's going to be a lot going. Okay, let's quickly do the play ratings from the Stoke game. Let's start with you, Nick. Chris Maxwell.
I thought he had a very, very good game. There was a criticism. I think his distribution was a bit off at times. But in terms of the main part of the job, keeping the ball out of the net, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. So I will go 8+ using the fielding player rating system.
Right, Pete, you can have Andy Lyons.
I thought, when a player, you don't really notice him that much, although he got forward quite a bit. I thought he was just he's really just settled into the team, and he was part of that back four that was immense throughout the game. So, I think he's got to be an 8+ as well.
Isn't it great that we've got him versatile as well, either side, and we've got Jordan Gabriel coming back as well. Reasons to be cheerful. Raggy, Callum Connolly, Superman.
Yeah, well, he's great, isn't he? I mean, every position he's played for us, he almost looks like that's his position. You forget that he'd played a year at centre half for somebody else, and wherever he goes, he just fits in because he just gives it everything. He's a good footballer anyway, and he's just got the heart of a lion, hasn't he? And I can't possibly man of the match, so I don't know. I mean, 9.
Yeah, if he's your man of the match,
Yeah,
9's an obvious score. Yeah. Curtis Nelson, Nick. Have it.
He did have it, though. He did have it, didn't he?
Bit exposed for that Dwight Gayle chance, I thought, but apart from
offside,
that,
it was
pretty
offside. He knew it.
Nick, have you frozen? He has.
Oh, he's done one.
Pete, you can take him then.
Well, that's exactly what I thought he was, Abbott, but he put everything on the line. He was outstanding as well. I thought, no, Thornley, bloody hell, that's a nightmare.
Mm.
And
I think he was sponsors man of the match as well, Nelson.
Was he Nelson? I don't think he was. I think he was there, just a smidge around Connolly, but I can't. If we got Lyons and Maxwell 8+, I think we've got to give him a 9 as well. I think the two of them in the central defence were absolutely outstanding.
Jimmy Husband, Raggy.
Well, I love him, and I said to a mate of mine on Saturday, he's an unsung hero, him, that lad. He's always tries, and I don't know, maybe I've scored him on here in the past. I don't know if I have or I haven't, but I mean, he's just like a 7 or 8 player all of the time, isn't he?
Yeah.
All of the time, every game he plays, because he's been moved into some positions, and he never moaned. Great player.
Versatile.
And just uses everything he's got to its maximum. So only because I think Connolly was man of the match in my eyes at 9, and Husband's just like 8+ with the old
PRS system.
Yeah, the old fielding.
Where is the great man? Is he not using his own system in the comments? Come on, Tim, pipe up.
Oh no, give me Kenny Dougal. Oh, I'm going to miss Kenny Dougal.
Oh, Nick's just appeared, so...
You jammy sod, Dougal. He's the weak link at the moment for me.
Oh, I'll give you Kenny Dougal. Oh, go on then, Pete. Have you say Kenny Dougal?
His passing is absolutely shite. And he's not a defensive central midfielder, and he's not a forward midfielder. He's a bit of both. But he's not enough of one of either of them for me. And I've got, I'm standing my. I mean, he's had some good games, and he didn't let us down. But he was nowhere near the same standard as the back four and the goalkeeper that we've just done. He'd be the first one. If we had the likes of Stewart or Brigcut or someone like that, or Tribal or whatever, then they'd be in that side. He's going to be fourth choice between them. And I don't want to be put a downer on this game, but I would give him a 6.
Harsh. Very harsh.
I'm doing it for Leanne.
Very harsh.
Yeah, get in there while Tim's not here.
I was about to say, you don't diss Kenny Dougal and get away with it with
there's a few people got downers on Kenny Dougal, and I don't really see it. But I've always maintained, listen, I don't know anything about football.
Well, I don't either. But
I always think he's all right.
He's all right. Exactly.
He's fit though. At least he's fit. Out of all
he never misses a game.
He's fit.
Yeah, that's true.
He's an able body.
Give him a plus for that. 6+.
Yeah. There you go.
That's a negotiation, isn't it?
Well done, Raggy.
Right, Nick, are you going to disappear again?
There's every chance. I wouldn't mind, but we've just had
Right, quick, do Lewis Fiorini then. Quick.
Did really well for the goal. Obviously tied, which is understandable. 8.
Sonny Carey, Raggy.
Yeah, great player. Great player. He's. I've said the other week, like he wouldn't be in my team right now, but needs must, and we need it. And I'm glad he was because he played well. 7+.
Do you know, I'm looking at the FOTMob player ratings while you're all doing this, and you're all pretty much on the money with what they've said, i.e. the better and the worst players. So, yeah, well done, gentlemen. Ian Poveda. Who are we on? Raggy? Is it Raggy?
No, I've just done it. I've just done Sonny Carey.
Sorry. Pete?
I love Jan Poveda, and I think he should be playing every bloody week. And I hope now that he's played that full game, that whatever's gone on between him and the coaching staff.
Well, he did get subbed on 63 minutes.
Did he start? What game were you watching, Ronnie?
Did he?
Yeah, of course he did.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was later. I thought it was later than that. Was it 63 minutes?
He exchanged him for 3 fullbacks.
There you go. That's how good he is. I just think he's.
I thought it was you that coshed the train driver on the head and not the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think he was brilliant again, and he scored the goal through persistence and lucky, but he just brings something to the team, and energy and some skill, and he suits that role. I'd have him in the side every week again now, right from way through to the end of the season. But so I think an 8.
I think as Tim's just said there, how's Poveda not been starting week in, week out? I
exactly.
think if Poveda starts against Rotherham and Swansea, we're looking at least another 2 points, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't do it again, Mick. Hopefully you've learnt your lesson.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, don't care if he's a bit of a tit out of the pitch, get him on the pitch. His
reaction at the end of the game when he come on the pitch again, bloody hell.
Yeah. But I will maintain though, I think McCarthy goes into football clubs where they haven't got a very good team or squad, and he finds a way of just getting all the big lads on and playing it, where it's probably took him a few games to realise we have got a good team, a good squad of players and good footballers, and hopefully he's seen the light.
I think he comes into these clubs and doesn't. I think he wants to make his own mind up from what he's seen rather than hearing opinions of others. I think that's what he's doing. Right. And hopefully he's formulated the correct opinion. But Mick, if you'd listened to us in the first place, we would have had 4 more points. So think on. Morgan Rogers. Strangely quite... In fact, he got the lowest score on the football rating, 6.7. So that's a lot of bollocks then, isn't it? Morgan Rogers...
I thought he did well. Like we've covered, he did really well for the goal. Showed good strength. He's got a bit of pace about him. I think what was it, 6 point? What he got? I think that's a bit low. I think it's at least a 7+, pushing an 8 for me.
Yeah, defo. Jerry Yates, Raggy.
Well, he's minimum 8. Because he's just ace. He's just ace anyway, isn't he? He just runs and runs and runs. I don't care if he doesn't score goals. It'd just be a nightmare for them defenders, running and running and running. My only problem I've got is that if we don't sort of manage to get 1 or 2 goals up in a game soon and give him a break for 20 minutes, he's going to end up injured, running round somewhere. But we can't afford to not have him on the pitch at the minute. 8+, 8+ for him.
I think just a bit of a shout out to let's quickly talk about the subs. No, don't have to rate them. So we've had CJ on 46 minutes. He's played a half. Thompson, Gabriel, and Garbutt. Turn that fucking app off, Pete. Last warning. Jesus.
Kill that app.
I'm going to kick him off in a minute if it happens again. Luke Garbutt, Nick, fair play to the lad. He's been out for so long, and I thought he did a really good job when he came on.
Yeah, I did wonder whether we'd see him in a Blackpool shirt again. And had we not had so many injuries, then maybe we wouldn't have done. But so fair play to him for, making the most of the opportunity, because I thought and all the subs did, to be fair, that those 3 that came on.
And he's got a great song as well, though. So
and he's got it was great to hear that. We'd forgotten about that one as well, because he's not featured, has he? I thought he did really well, playing kind of left side of midfield, wasn't he? I thought Thompson did well. Gabriel, all 3 of them played well. They showed great energy. And who knows? Maybe he's given Mick McCarthy something to think about, possibly.
Mm. Okay, speaking of Mick McCarthy, let's do man of the matches first. So let's go around the room. Give our man of the matches. Pete, you go first. Unmute yourself. Don't want to hear any more binging.
God, I can't believe. I think he's pissed tonight. It's been a pain in the ass. Anyway, sorry about that. Connolly. Straightforward. Callum Connolly.
He agrees with you.
Do you know that yes and no game where you've got to try and get someone to say yes and no or no, and you ring a bell if they say yes and no? I've actually got one. Eddie's got the game downstairs, so I may bring it to the next pod. Do a Ronnie impression. I'm going to go for Chris Maxwell again. That's twice. Let's say same twice in a row. I think he's two match-winning saves there, but you can take your pick from the rest of the squad. But I think Maxwell's come in for a bit of stick from here sometimes. But I think he's shown great resilience and strength of character in those last 2 performances. So Chris Maxwell for me. Raggy.
Well, I wouldn't be upset with any of them 3, Maxwell, Connolly and our mate Avitt, because they were great. But Connolly for me.
Nick, you've got the casting vote.
I know, gosh, pressure. I'd agree with what Raggy said about those 3. It's honourable mentions to all of them. I'm going to go for Connolly. I think having the captaincy really suited him. And he kind of epitomised everything that we were about on Saturday afternoon. But it was very close. I thought Maxwell was excellent as well. But I will give it Connolly.
Okay, fair enough. Manager ratings around the room. Let's start with you, Pete. It'd have been very low. Had we done. Mick's lucky, really, that we couldn't motivate ourselves to do one after that Rotherham game.
I think he was out 9.
Game management, superb,
9. Brilliant.
Given all the injuries we've got, all the players out.
Yeah, the emotion, everything. 9.
Nicholas?
I'd agree. I thought it was great in-game management. Not sure I want to see it week in, week out, having to bring 3 fullbacks on, but it worked on Saturday, so you've got to give him credit.
Yeah, Raggy played the cards he's been dealt very well, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, picked a team that we all pretty much wanted. Maybe the odd one player, but picked what everyone wanted. I'm sure he didn't pick it because we wanted it, but seemed to pick the best team, put the best players in the right positions, and then did some tactical great things that, like I say, at the time I don't understand, but I'm not a football manager. I'm every credit because it worked. That's why we got to trust him, isn't it? Yeah. That's why we'll be fine.
Right, let's move on to the Blackburn game briefly. Nick, you and I are going tomorrow. I've heard a very good piece of news that Bradley Dack and Brereton Diaz are both injured for this game.
Well, I think Dack definitely is. I think it's a late call on Diaz, isn't it? Unless you've seen something more recently than me. They both went off with hamstrings, though, didn't they? So I'd be surprised if they risk Brereton Diaz. So hopefully that gives us more of a chance. And I hope as well like I say, I know it was dog and defended on Saturday, but it doesn't mean we need to go away from home and necessarily do that. We've got decent attacking players, and I hope he takes that from the game as well as the doggy defending side of it, and that we we go there and cause them some problems, because I think as great as it was, seeing bodies on the line and everything. I think if you're doing that for the next 14 games, you're probably going to come unstuck against better teams trying to defend for an hour. So, and we saw, playing football got us the goal. Playing football got us a very good goal at Swansea. So let's go and play football as well as defend well.
Okay, then let's go and pick a team then, Nick. Blackburn away.
But you got to say Maxwell keeps his place, doesn't he?
Yeah. Formation-wise, shall we just pick a formation first? Pete, you got any thoughts? Muted.
What we did 4. I'm not sure about 5-3-2. Although he may well pick it after the end of the game when he brought the subs on, but it was a 4-2.
4-2-3-1 we started with, I think.
4-2, yeah.
I think we've got to stick with that formation, haven't we?
I think so, 4-2. Yeah, I think so.
I think Maxwell, let's keep Maxwell in there.
Yeah.
Gabriel's back in contention. Yeah. Lyons. Judd's back,
Hubby looked a bit tired on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe it's time for Gabriel to start on the right and shove Lyons on the left.
Well, that's what you would do.
Go for the jugular.
Well. Husband's not tired. He's a machine.
Yeah, you
I know he is. But
you can't leave husband out.
No, I agree.
I know what Nick's saying.
Yeah, I do. But he can have a rest at the end of the season. I'll do he can have free drinks all summer in the club if he sit on the roof.
I'd like to see these two. I just think Lyons is more of a threat going forward than Husband. I'm not taking any away from Husband. I do like him, but I'd like to see us go for it.
Countering my own sort of thing there, I do like Gabriel, so
I think this is the game to get Gabriel back in, get him a game. I think, like we said, he's an athlete, isn't he? I think he'd be fit enough to last at least 70 minutes in this game. And I think he should go back in at right back. My picks for the fullbacks are Lyons at left and Gabriel at right back. Nick?
Yeah, I'm just reading Mitch's comment because I was thinking the same. He played left wing back, didn't he, for his previous team? But yeah, let's go for it. Why not? We need it. It would be brilliant, wouldn't it, to get 2 wins? So
yeah, let's take it to Blackburn.
Let's put the pressure on Raggy. Give me the next one. I haven't had
we need defensive cover, don't we? So that's why I'm thinking with Husband, as Nick said, give him a bit of a rest, and he can come in.
I disagree with that completely. I think we should be playing Lyons and Husband like we did the other day. I just don't think you can change it. Why would you?
More attacking.
Yeah, we're away from home.
Raggy, come on then.
I suppose, right? I would keep Lyons and Husband, but I'm not opposed to having Gabriel back in. So I suppose with that little slight thing, then Lyons and Gabriel. But
right, that's it then. It's happening. That's our pick.
I think James Husband's great. No, there's no way he's dropping James Husband, but if we were going for our best out and out attacking team like we are, then fine, yeah.
I'll go
centre halves. Is Judd coming back in, or are we sticking with Avett and
Connolly?
Connolly staying in, definitely, isn't he?
Yeah. I thought Nelson had a good game as well, to be fair. So
I wouldn't really. If Thornley's got a bit of a knock, there's no point in risking him.
Yeah.
If he was fit, I'd probably say Thornley, but.
Bridcut and Stewart in there for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Patino's back though, isn't he?
Not Patino.
Oh, come on, he's back. He's available for selection.
Oh.
You want attacking players, he'll give the ball to everyone. No problem.
It'll be Gary, won't it?
Who do we want, Pete? Who do we want?
I actually think you've got to play Dougal because we've got no other defensive mid of any sort.
Well, Fiorini, obviously, he's back, isn't he? I've completely
say,
forgot about him.
Fiorini's
Forgot about him.
He's definitely in. So, and then it has to be Dougal.
Yeah.
Carey in there. If
I
we're
don't
playing
know.
Poveda, are we playing Poveda in the 10?
Yeah, but I think it's got to be Kenny.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
International footballer.
And CJ.
Yeah, there you go. Got international footballers on the bench.
Oh, he's piped up again.
Sakia.
Oh, God.
Right, so
Bella Lugosi.
don't know who that is.
That was the judge in the Great Train Robber court case, wasn't it? No, I'm only joking. I'm making it up. Just making it up.
Used to play Dracula, didn't he? Whatever it was.
Bruce something or other was the leader of that tribe, wasn't he? Might watch Buster actually after this.
Thanks.
Poveda in the 10.
Brings in some royalties. Watch it, all of you.
Yeah.
Poveda in the 10, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yes.
And Bowler.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
Well,
will.
Oh, yes.
So you won't play that. Carey will play where Fiorini is, and Fiorini will play in the 10.
Yeah, but it's not what Mick wants, Robbie.
No, it is.
Exactly.
We know best.
Tell Pete this. You're turning into Tim.
We know best
all the time.
I would have that team all day long without.
Look
Kenny
at that.
We have got no choice.
Let's get our ugly mugs off.
You see, look at that. That's a great team. And then what a bench we have as well.
Look at that.
Will there be any more players surprising us with a return on the bench tomorrow?
How far off Bridcut?
Who knows?
Don't know, but he'll only play for 2 games. He'll be out again, won't he?
Yeah.
Keshi Anderson.
Another game, hasn't he?
Oh, where's Keshi Anderson? I love Keshi Anderson. I don't know if he'll ever play again for us or what.
Yeah,
I don't think
setback,
he'll be in
didn't
this season.
Early March, all of them.
I think he's done injury wise.
Tribal, Ekpateta, Bridcut, Stewart, Anderson, Good, all showing as early March.
Well, that's like half a new team coming back for the promotion push, playoff charge.
On that note,
I'd love to see that team.
Just putting it on Twitter now. Our team to beat Blackburn.
On paper, it's great. It's great.
That'd beat Burnley. Never mind Blackburn.
Well, it's gonna see in a few weeks. I think
I was going to say we'll have a chance to find out.
Right, so who's going tomorrow then? Obviously, Pete, you're a bit too far away. Raggy's going.
Early doors, early 3:00 in the afternoon.
Are you really?
We're leaving the Gold Coast.
Army.
There's a good few going for a drink. Got to pave the way, haven't we?
Good lads. What time are we going, John?
5. Well, finish work at 5, so
Right, I'll just head straight to yours after work then.
yeah. So yeah, based on that team, how do we think it goes? Let's give a quick prediction round the room before we do one.
Based on that team, we're winning 2-0.
3-1.
I think 3-0. So we're not far off.
I think 2-0.
So that's with our team again.
Another clean sheet in us there.
I think we did this last time, didn't we? Our team and his team.
Yeah.
I think with his team, it's going to be 1-1.
I was just going to say 1-1.
Yeah. With his team, it'll be 1-1.
Yeah, I think it's
Unless
obvious.
we get a player sent off, then we might win 2-1.
We're not going to be playing fast attacking football for the rest of the season, I'm sure. So yeah, 1-0, and that'll do.
When was the last time we played fast attacking football this season? Full stop.
No, but that team we've just put on there would.
Oh, that would, yeah.
So, but we're not going to see that, are we, for the season? He's got a way to play and style to do it in, and he'll justify it. He's not lost a home game. 2 clean sheets in the last 2 home games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you start looking at it
We
like
need a win
that,
away, don't we?
all of a sudden it's needs must and it's there. We only need 17 points now from 42. Laughing. Get your money on it. Earn yourself some free dough.
And on that note, I think I'll play the outro music. So, yeah. Hope to see some of you there at the game tomorrow, gentlemen. Been a pleasure as always having your company this evening. Just before we head off, do consider joining our Patreon support program if you like what we're doing here. Starts from the price of a pint per month. Patreon.com/Seasiders Pod if you want to support us there. And yeah, we'll be coming back after the Blackburn game. Only if we've won. Only if we've won.
We'll be on then, won't we?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll speak to everyone on Thursday. What remains to be said is thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for downloading. On up the pool. Come on, let's get into those Rovers. Come on, the pool.